The professor is here to tell you what Kevin James has to do with the Philadelphia Eagles offense. Coming up next on the PHLY Eagles podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the PHLY Eagles podcast on a beautiful fall Friday, presented by Bet365 and Ashley. Wulf, the professor, Deniz is here. We'll be joined by EJ Smith in just a little bit. How's EJ today?
EJ is probably wondering. I don't really know how to say this.
Move, Hitch, get out the way. Get out the way, Hitch, get out the way. The chat is already running with all the Hitch puns.
There you go.
Very exciting stuff.
Yeah.
This has been a big week for you, Mr. Hitch.
Well, I mean,
Feel like you got a little hitch in your step, I'd say.
everyone's talking hitches and
I'm
crosses.
a hitch, I'm a lover, I'm a professor, I'm a mother.
That's what I was singing in
I'm
the
a
shower this
sinner,
morning.
I'm a saint. Yeah. I mean, big
I'm
week
just,
for
I'm
you.
just, I'm just here. Is it? Why is it a big week for me?
Everybody's taking your stuff.
Nah, that's fine. It's all okay. I mean, you know, somebody.
But I feel like you've moved the conversation.
Somebody-
I feel like you have. This is a real question.
Somebody needs to drive the narrative on WIP, and you know, why not me?
Well, truly, you have moved. Your Eagles fandom has evolved from you are now a character in the universe.
Yeah, it's
of
fun.
the thing that you follow.
It's been great. Yeah.
To the point that you are actually affecting change to some degree. I know you're plugged in with reporters. Ask them to ask questions at press conferences.
Hey, there were some good
that
questions
happens.
this week. Let me just say,
And
good scheme questions.
you know, you put something like this out, you know that it now filters its way to the top. How have you embraced your role in your own favorite television show?
Oh, it's been so fun. I mean, I tell everybody this is like just such a joy for me. Like, you know, this isn't my main job, and that's what is part of what makes it maybe more fun for me. Not that it can't be fun if it is your main job, obviously, but it's been awesome. I love it.
But do you? How do you feel about the power that you now wield?
Oh, it's you know, it just comes with the territory. I really don't think it's that much power, by the way.
I don't know.
but you know, it is fun when you can just like at 2 a.m. just like, you know, make a random graph, and then suddenly the next day it seems like everyone wants to talk about it. It's fun. It's great.
How did you come up? We're going to get to the Hitch stuff.
Yeah.
But before we get to the actual findings, what precipitated you to like look this up?
The hitch thing started with I think Brendan Deeg put out a number about the number of hitches, total hitches run by players, and then Eagles Eric on social media put out a graph with comparing hitches to total routes or something like that. And then I just kind of like,
Okay, so this wasn't purely
the hitch
your
thing
own
did
brainchild.
not
Okay.
yeah, no, and in my original post I credited Eagles Eric with and I in fact I quote tweeted him. I'm not WIP. I don't just like steal other people's stuff and talk about it for hours without saying why. Yeah, I quote tweeted Eagles Eric and said, like, you know, I follow it up on this with not just looking at this year, but looking at the last, you know, all the True Media database going back to 2012. And we can put up the hitches and crossers graph that is all the rage, Julia, if we have it.
What great nominative determinism for Eagles Eric, huh? I mean, to be named Eagles Eric.
It's a
and
lot like
focus on
it's
the
a lot
Eagles.
like
What-
Doug.
how-
It's
yeah.
a lot like Doug Analytics. I mean, it's like, you know, it's very similar. I wonder if they're friends. You know, Doug Analytics and Eagles Eric just get together and they talk about analytics and the Eagles. You know,
Doug Analytics.
I mean, Doug Analytics gets you every time. Doug Analytics is the guy responsible for those awesome completion percentage over expectation graphs. Yeah, Doug Analytics. It's really good. Incredible. He was born to do analytics.
The name's Analytics.
Doug Analytics. Nothing but respect for Doug Analytics, by the way. As much as it cracks Bo up. Oh man. It's the come on, Julia. The
Super
Hitches
chat from Quinn Davis.
Don't act like you haven't been looking at the Hitches and Crossers graph all week.
Who says, "Do you guys think there is an organizational directive?"
Bo's literally crying for the audio audience
to gaslight Tanner McKee into thinking he's not good, so they can sign him to a cheap extension. Why else would he have been behind Kenny last year?
Real topical right now.
Well, listen. First of all, thank you for the super chat. Second of all, we said it at the time last year that it felt silly to have signed Kenny Pickett, but they ended up getting something for him, I guess. I think the cat is out of the bag on Tanner McKee at this point. But
yeah, I think so. I think like Tanner McKee has just such an incredible reputation for having not played at all this year. Like everyone just kind of assumes like he's starter ready right now.
Usually that would sound silly, but in this case, it's true.
Yeah, no, it does look really good. And I know you're secretly hoping for that natural experiment, but yeah, we'll see. Do we have the Hitches and Crossers?
All right, let's talk about this. Everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, so this is a graph that has crossing routes run on one axis and hitches run on the other, and this is a percentage of all routes run by the team, like as a whole.
Yeah.
And the Eagles not only are running more hitches than anyone else this year, they're running more hitches than anyone probably in NFL history, I would imagine. Like this goes back to the data only goes back to 2012.
And just so you know,
the Eagles are such an outlier this year. 24% of all of the routes run by the team are hitches.
And just to say, a hitch is run straight and turn around.
Basically, yes. Yeah. I mean, there are only so many different routes defined in this database. So, Fran made the point that like those tight end option routes that are more like stick routes probably count as hitches, and the basic curl routes count as hitches. So the Eagles are like running more hitches by a mile than anyone else in the NFL, more hitches than they themselves have ever run before. And then when you take it to the player level, it gets even crazier. If you take
this is wild.
The 109 players who have run 200 or more routes in the NFL this season and rank them by percentage of their routes that are hitches. Dallas Goedert is first by a mile. Like 35% of his routes are hitches. No one else.
35% of your routes. That is so high.
No one else
to run anything more than a third of the time is wild.
Look at this graph. This is number of crossing routes run on one axis and then hitches run on the other. And you can see that all the Eagles are near the top here. Dallas Goedert is just all by himself. Like he's almost off the graph. Because of these 109 players, 35% is the most. The second highest is less than 30%. And guess who the second highest is? Jahan Dotson, okay, also on the Eagles.
And I have to say,
second on the list.
This is the one that makes no sense to me.
He's a wide receiver who's on the team for his speed.
Well, exactly. Just from it, he's a wide receiver who they never throw to. Just from a spacing standpoint, if you know there's a guy in the route tree who is going to be the fifth option,
right,
90% of the time, why would he be clouding up the space 8 yards, 10 yards downfield, right? It doesn't make any sense intuitively.
It gets
do the Quez Watkins thing. Just make him run.
It gets much worse, I think. Okay, you can argue Dallas Goedert, Jahan Dotson are options 3 and 4 on this team that they're going to run. Maybe they're running hitches to draw attention away from your actual guys.
But it also doesn't make sense because, as you know, a hitch is you're only throwing the hitch if it's your first or second read. Like that's a timing route.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, there are route concepts where a hitch is part of a concept, right? So one guy runs a hitch, the other guy wraps around him as part of the wrap, which is something the Eagles do. Right. They're doing it a little less.
He's never going to throw a hitch to Jahan Dotson?
Right, unless they ignore it and he's sitting there at the sticks, which, DeVonta Smith was sitting there at the sticks.
Yeah.
And he didn't throw it on that first third down this last game. But it gets worse. Slightly behind Jahan Dotson is Travis Kelce, who's an old tight end. Okay, slightly behind him is Zach Ertz, who's also an
And
old
we appreciate
tight end.
that they're both Eagles coded.
Totally fine that those guys are up there. Just behind Zach Ertz, but I'm talking like just behind him, like 0.2 percentage points behind him. Fifth in the league is DeVonta Smith. Now, you've already got the first two guys.
Yeah.
And now you've got DeVonta Smith. So 3 of the top 5 hitch runners in the league are Eagles, and DeVonta Smith running a hitch, which he often does. I mean, this is not just looking at the numbers. Like I've literally traced out every single one of these hitches on my iPad because that's what I do with every single Eagles play when I chart the film. So these are not just like numbers that I got from the True Media base. These are all hitches that I've watched multiple times. DeVonta Smith is running these hitches oftentimes on money downs, where he's just running like over the ball and just sitting there.
It's such a waste of his talent.
The part of the field that Jalen doesn't like to throw to, for one thing. And it's like you could get anybody to run that route. Like you could get, you know, you could have like your third tight end run that route. You don't need a guy like DeVonta Smith who can beat guys. Give him the chance to run a choice route. Give him the chance to do something out of the slot and empty where he's actually like going to move one direction or the other. Those hitch routes are so predictable that opposing linebackers are able to just undercut them. You almost don't even have to like cover the guy. Like you can just undercut that passing lane with a big bulky middle linebacker. Like you don't need an athletic player to cover DeVonta Smith. It makes it so much easier to cover everybody else. AJ Brown, by the way, not that far behind. 24% of his routes are hitches. That's 18th in the league. So Eagles have 3 of the top 5, 4 of the top 18, and Fran asked me once, you know, this started becoming all the talk this week.
Sure.
Fran texted me and asked,
Is
there a relationship between, did it really? I don't watch SportsCenter, but I wouldn't be. That's
I don't even know if they have like a lead of SportsCenter anymore.
I don't know. He asked me if there's a relationship between hitches and generating yards after catch, which the Eagles are really bad at as well.
Because you're coming back towards the quarterback.
Right, exactly. There's basically no chance that you're going to get yards after catch on a hitch, unless you know you're AJ Brown and you destroy the guy. Right. Yeah, it happened in the Rams game, but that's going to happen very rarely. I think we have the graphic of the hitches versus yak, Julia, where you can see that the Eagles are by far the highest hitch team. They're also like the second to worst at generating yak in the league. Like per completion, I think only the Saints are worse, and the Saints run a lot of hitches too. Which, you know, did Kellen Moore bring the hitches to Philly and introduce
the hitch?
Yeah, because when you look, the second highest year of hitches for the Eagles was also last year. But you can see that the teams that generate the most yak in the league by far, the Steelers, the Lions, the Bills, the Bears,
the Steelers,
they are also the lowest in hitch rate. So I don't know. Look, it's not as simple as just running fewer hitches, obviously, but I do think
but it is. I mean, just if you just think about it intellectually. If you are asking your receivers to be static at the time they get the ball or coming back towards the quarterback, you are not going to have yak. Whereas if you design the offense around getting them the ball on the run while they're moving.
For sure.
Yeah.
And to transition to yak, I mean, AJ was asked in the locker room yesterday about yak specifically. And first he said it's a mindset. But then he kept talking, and he was like, there are other factors that that I'm not going to get into. Which he could be talking about ball placement from the quarterback, but I think he's got to also be in part thinking the kind of routes that you're asked to run. And then you look at these kinds of hitches where they're all run on the same play. It's like they have plays where it's like 3 guys on one side of the field and they all run a hitch, right? And it's always in kind of predictable spacing as well, because it has to be spaced out so the quarterback can actually see all of them. And the defense is able to predict that as well. And you look at a play like the 3rd and 8 play from the 9-yard line after the Cooper DeJean interception.
Yeah.
Eagles get the ball at the 11. First down. They get 2 yards, and then second down.
They do the RPO to AJ Brown.
Yes, and then on second down, they run outside zone lead into the boundary from the 9-yard line. And it is driving me crazy. Like, what is that supposed to do? Like, against these linebackers, against a team that like can stop the run, you're running outside zone lead into the boundary. That means the short side of the field, not giving yourself a lot of space.
Yeah.
You're already at the 9-yard line. The safeties are pretty close to the line of scrimmage already. That play is not going to get anything, right? And sure enough, it didn't get anything. And then you have the 3rd down play. 2 slants on the left, 3 hitches on the right, completely isolated against man coverage. And I mean, and it's incomplete on the slant to AJ, and they kick the field goal. I mean, to think about, like, to contrast that with the plays that the Lions were running when they had the ball, like, deep in Eagles territory, where everyone's running, like, across the field and guys are getting picked. And
Brock Wright's wide open.
And Brock Wright's wide open because Quinyon Mitchell, like, ran into a guy, right? Like, I mean, that kind of thing is happening every week, like, where it's like the Eagles are not scheming guys open. We've talked about this so much that I don't know if people are just tired of hearing about it. But you're playing against one of the teams that ranks the highest in man coverage in the league. It's not like you weren't expecting man coverage. They only actually played man coverage on 8 dropbacks in the game. But on those 8 dropbacks, like, you know, Shield was talking about this earlier, but like I was thinking the same thing. I literally wrote the same thing in my notes. Like, they didn't do a single thing that you could call a man beater. Like, not a single thing. Like, they never ran mesh. They never ran, like, crossing. Like, they never ran bunch. You know, they didn't do anything that you could consider a man beater. One time, DeVonta Smith got open on a short out because his guy got caught up in Dallas Goedert's route. But even that didn't really look like a particular man-beating thing. There was an in-breaker on a crash concept that AJ caught that was tightly contested. Those were the only 2 catches. They were 2 for 7 for 14 yards against man coverage in this game. And a lot of the Lions cover 3 snaps play out like man on the outsides. And on those, we saw the Eagles sometimes try those ISO routes on the outside. And I would have thought that Rock Ya-Sin and Amik Robertson were both Deion Sanders in this game. I mean, they're not getting any separation.
Maybe they were.
No, maybe they were. But the point is, like, it was an ugly game. Obviously, this was one of the worst offensive performances we've seen in this era, and it's just there were just so many things that were wrong with it. Yeah, I want to get into like heavy personnel usage too, but you seem to have stuff on your mind.
Well, we're gonna get to a break.
Okay,
and then we'll come back. We'll get to it. We've got AJ Brown talking again. EJ will tell us about that. Will Smith, Kevin James, Hitch. You get it now. We're talking about just the risk tolerance of the offense. Quinyon Mitchell, how's he going to be used this week? Breaking down both sides of the ball, all coming up on the PHLY Eagles podcast. Righteous Felon, delicious, always coming up huge in the clutch. Righteous Felon Craft Jerky. These guys have been running a flavor racket for over a decade, slinging bold, rebellious, small batch meat snacks made with real ingredients and 0 shortcuts. And today we're talking about the meat sticks. 4 flavor-packed sticks that go way beyond the usual gas station suspects. These are clean label snacks made with real ingredients and 0 filler. There is the OG Hickory, delicious. Fiery Habanero, Fran Duffy's favorite. The Lemon Pepper Turkey and the Al Pastor, the street taco pork. All you can taste the difference in quality with Righteous Felon. It is absolutely always coming up huge here around the office. You can grab all 4 flavors at righteousfelon.com and use code PHLY20 to get 20% off your first order. Or hit the streets. The 2-ounce jerky bags are 2 for $10 at Wawa, and you'll also find Righteous Felon at Giant, Royal Farms, and thousands of independent stores across the country. Righteous Felon, high protein, bold flavor, no BS. And then I'll tell you about our friends at Shady Rays. That's right.
Hey, run a hitch. Call another hitch, Nick. Hey, hitch. Go hitch, Nick. Nick, it's a hitch.
I guess that presupposes that Nick is the one calling plays. So it should have been Kevin. But that's what makes Shady Rays so shady. But that's not the Shady Ray we're talking about. No. We're talking about Shady Rays, the best sunglasses company in the business, and by far the best customer satisfaction. If you lose or break your shades, even on day 1, Shady Rays will send you a brand new pair, no guilt trip, just replacements. So now you can actually wear your sunglasses without fear on hikes, at concerts, on a boat, wherever it is. Shady Rays is eyewear that has your back. And we have teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Head to shadyrays.com and use code PHLY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Let's check out the Super Chats as they roll in on the PHLY Eagles podcast. Irvin says, if you hypnotized Jalen Hurts into fully believing each remaining game was the Super Bowl, how would the offense change, and how does it change the season? A great question.
And that he's behind by like 10 points maybe would help?
Well, he played well in this Super Bowl. They were never behind.
That's true. It was like someone was pointing this out, and I think it was interesting. Like the only time the Eagles like scored a touchdown in this game was like right after the Lions did.
Right.
Like it's like
okay,
oh, now we
it's
need
time.
to score.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
score is tied. Like the only time the Eagles had like a whole half where like the offense looked really good was like down by 3 touchdowns to the Rams. You know, like it's
Right.
like they're really doing the like do what we need to do thing.
Yeah.
And
they're clearly
it's
leaning
like
too hard into it.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's probably anecdotal to some degree, but I mean it's crazy how they really just seem to be like.
I think that's a great idea from
I
Irv.
think there's been just convince him it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That would take a lot of machinery to convince him.
Not if you get one of those mentalists. You believe in those guys?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Limited
Going on.
Limited knowledge.
Witchcraft. Glenn Ohal. Hitchcrafts. Nice job, Julia. Glenn with just a nice donation super chat. We appreciate that. Glenn, met him down in New Orleans. Longtime listener. Got to say, finally went through my Instagram friend requests. Gave him the submit. Might have been months later, but congratulations to Glenn. I'm only approving people who I've met in real life. No weirdos. Sorry. SRG.
I mean, those should not be mutually exclusive.
I mean, I met like they're good friends of mine in my life who were just sitting in my Instagram requests, and I finally approved them. It's fine.
I follow.
I'm not posting on Instagram. It's
I
fine.
follow my cousin who's 27 years old, and like a random Haitian soccer player on Instagram. If you're wondering about the second one, it's because we were at a bar. I was at a bar in Haiti, and the entire soccer team, like that we had just watched play the day before, showed up at the bar.
Okay.
And they came over to me and
They
my
made
friend.
the World Cup.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
They made the World Cup. Yeah, none of the players on the national team were on this team that we watched, but so this team we watched in Cap-Haïtien in the north of Haiti. We went to the stadium and watched, and there were like no other tourists, like probably in Haiti, like let alone at the game at the time. This was a time of like kind of turmoil in Haiti. And this was when me and my friend Ben shout out to my friend Ben from college. We're at a bar the next day, and the whole soccer team shows up. And they all come up to us, and they were like, you guys were at the game? And we were like, yeah, it was great, whatever. And this guy like takes my phone, and he like just adds himself on Instagram. And I thought that was awesome. So like I constantly, like when I open Instagram, when I go to a show or something, I look for videos of the show that I went to. Like that's the only time I ever go on Instagram. And it's just like these pictures of this Haitian soccer player, like, you know, like dressed in various outfits and stuff, like just pops up. And it's like,
Can I give you this opportunity to stand on your soapbox about the proposed schedule for the World Cup?
are they thinking about changing it? Like the four games a day? Like
No, I just mean the 48 teams.
oh yeah, no, it's crazy. It's just way too many teams.
But isn't the final games of the group is going to be? It's all fakakta, right?
Well, the final games of the group will be. Well, it's still
There'll be
groups
a bunch of
no,
right?
it's still groups of 4.
Okay.
So it's not changing
I
that.
thought this was a whole thing for you.
What's going to be an issue is going to be that the top third place teams
Right.
advance to the round of 32.
Okay.
And so what happens when you have it's 4 groups of 12 groups of 4. And it used to be that who made the second round was independent. When it was 32 teams, it was the top 2 in every
Just the
group
top
made
2,
it.
right,
So
right,
as long as the last games in each group were played at the same time,
Right.
there was no information advantage.
Right.
What's happening now is with 48 teams, they're going to go down from 48 to 32, which means it's not just the 24 first and second place teams, but the best 8 out of 12 third place teams are
Right.
also going to make it. And so the groups that play last will have an
there'll be just a
advantage
bunch
in
of just,
knowing what
a
you
bunch
need,
of accepting ties.
what you need to
Yeah.
get into the top 8 third place teams, because the other groups will be over already,
Yeah.
and the third place team standings will be somewhat set. What I would do, first of all, I wouldn't have 48 teams, but since they're going to have 48 teams, what I would do is something more similar to what the Champions League is doing this year, which is just have 24 advance instead of having those extra teams advance, and give the top 8 teams, the best 8 first place teams, a bye to the next round. You still have an information issue there, but it gives teams an incentive to win that last game instead of resting guys like after they've already advanced. And it also makes it so you don't have that whole mess of like third place teams that only got like 3 points out of 3 games advancing to the next round. So that's what I would do.
I mean, just go to 64 if you're going to go to 48.
That's
too much. I agree.
It's just too many teams. It's taken the joy out of qualifying too. Like it's like way too easy to qualify now. I mean, congratulations to like Suriname and Curacao and all that. Like it's awesome that they made the World Cup, but I mean, you're one of the top 48 teams.
For Suriname and Curacao.
No.
All right, we have one more super chat, and then we'll get back to the task at hand here. SRG, now that the defense is cooking, wouldn't it make sense to get more aggressive on offense? If Jalen threw 3 touchdowns and 3 picks in each remaining game, doesn't it feel like they'd still win most of them? Well, this gets to the risk tolerance discussion.
Yeah, and the lack of big plays that come out of it. I mean, we talk about like the details of this offense so much, and one of the things that we mentioned last year is that despite the fact that it seems to be annoying to watch for a variety of reasons, the offense has always maintained a certain level of bottom line performance. Whether it was because the schedule was easy last year or not, like we can still debate, but at the end of the day, the offense was good enough at the end of the year to win the Super Bowl. Obviously, the defense was awesome, but still, it was good enough. I always go back to this. We have this graphic, Julia, of like EPA per drive by season, like looking at the last 5 years, and it's offense and defense. And the thing that I was saying last year about this was the defense has fluctuated a lot. Like, there's a big difference between Fangio's defense and the Sean Desai, Matt Patricia defense, obviously. But the offense has somehow managed to stay in the same band of performance. So how far to the right you are in this graph is how good your offense is, and how high or low you are is how good your defense is. The 21, 22, 23, and 24 Eagles were all top quartile. The worst one, the 2023 one, was still 74th percentile offense out of these last 5 years worth of teams. And then the best version actually was last year's at 89th percentile. This year, down to 57th percentile. So this is actually the worst Eagles offense. It's not just like your eyes or like the fact that you don't like watching Hitches or whatever. Like we didn't really like watching last year's offense either, but it ended up performing quite well. When you look at the number of negative plays and the number of 10-yard plays, I think that's another graphic, Julia. This is like the positive plays and the 10-yard plays. In the last 5 years, the Eagles have been, at worst, 70th percentile at avoiding negative plays. And last year, they were 94th percentile at avoiding negative plays. This is 0 yard and negative plays, so this includes incompletions. This year, they are 30th percentile, below average, like one of the worst in the league at having negative plays this year. And when you look at 10-plus yard plays, which is like the explosiveness part of this, 2022 offense was 94th percentile at this, getting explosives. The last couple of years, around 40th percentile. This year, 6th percentile. I mean, this offense ranks in getting 10-yard plays in the league this season 29th in the NFL. I mean, you're talking about 29th in the NFL at getting 10 yards per play, and then you're also talking about bottom 5 in not getting negative yards or 0 yards. So it's not explosive. It's not consistent. They still think they can run it on early downs, and they can't. So there actually are problems this year. We're not just talking about style. We're talking about actual bottom line. I mean, I know they're winning, but we see how they're winning. Like,
yeah.
They're winning 16-9 and 10-7.
And so what's your level of faith that this will change once they start playing bad defenses?
Right. So the schedule faced so far has been the 9th most difficult for the offense. The schedule remaining is the 28th most difficult. So you can look at that and say maybe when against bad defenses, it'll be good. You can point to the Giants game, the second Giants game, and say, look, that was a bad defense. Look at how good it was. Or you could look at the first Giants game and say, that was a bad defense and it wasn't good, right? So I don't know. Like when you hear the players and coaches talk about the issues, I just kind of like, I'm just hearing alarm bells. Like Jalen Hurts this week called it internal wounds, which I'm not sure if he meant self-inflicted wounds. But he said internal wounds, which sounds bad. Like, sounds like a hard thing to fix.
Yeah, internal bleeding, never good.
Yeah, I mean, he's still talking about finding an identity.
Lacerated kidney.
For example, about setting a vision for how things need to be and then pursuing it. Like he said, like, we need to set a vision for how things need to be first, and then we need to pursue it. It's week 12. When is this going to happen? DeVonta Smith was talking to John Clark on his podcast, and he said, we're trying to figure out what we're good at. Again, it's week 12. Like, you're still trying to figure out what you're good at so you can pursue it more and focus on it more and then get good at it. Like, when is this going to happen? Like, it's at the point now where their identity is almost defined by the opponent sometimes. And we've talked about this before.
Absolutely.
Like, wildly high percentage of 12 personnel in this last game. 40 snaps of 12 and then 8 snaps of 12 with an offensive lineman. So 48 extra offensive linemen. So 48 snaps of heavy personnel. The lowest 11 personnel usage in the Nick Sirianni era. And, Zach, the guy who was on with, what's his name?
The author?
David
Baker, the guy.
David Baker. Asked Kevin Patullo, again, a beautifully worded question, I thought, about 11 personnel usage against the Lions this week. And Patullo said, when people want to play that style of defense, referring to how they stay in base and they stay with big guys, there are some things you have to make sure when you're in 11 personnel that are kind of covered. And there's some things that you got to be cautious of. That's why sometimes other personnels can benefit you. Almost surely he's thinking about, they have 7 big guys. I need 7 big guys so I can block them, right? And, but because they're running less of the zone read stuff, which means you can't just leave a guy unblocked. You need to actually block everybody. So he's thinking, in the run game, I'm going to have to do this. But it seems to me like another example of letting the defense dictate your identity. We had the analogy earlier this year where if you're in a relationship with someone with a very strong personality, you can often be like a reflection of them, and you kind of lose your own identity. And you have to be, you have to be cautious of that, like when you're in that. And it's like the Eagles' offense is always like the weaker link on the field. Like the defense's personality, they just become a reflection of that. The NFL literally lets the offense put their personnel on the field.
Yeah.
And then lets the defense match it. Like those are the rules. It's like a sequential game. The offense puts the personnel on the field, and then the defense matches it. And it's almost like Kevin Patullo is like taking that first mover advantage, and he's saying, okay, well, like I know they're going to match it with base, and so I'm going to preemptively put Grant Calcaterra out there to block a guy, which he doesn't end up doing anyway, and like not have to make their linebackers cover my fast guys. Like, and I just think like it's just one example, okay? And it obviously didn't work in this game, but it's been happening this way a lot, where the way they play is dictated by the opponent, and it's not always in the way that you would want it to be. It's not like, oh, they're running a lot of man, so let's use man beaters. It's not even that. It's I don't know. I'm kind of out of words. I'm just kind of annoyed, honestly.
Good time to go to break.
All right.
Which we will do. Do you really want Jalen Hurts returning punts? No, you don't. It's not worth the risk, time, or money. You keep your stars focused on doing what they do best, which is trying not to score, only protect the football. That's not what we're talking about here, though. We're talking about Togo. That's where Togo comes in, an integrated part of your team to avoid getting your top people buried in operations, time-consuming, redundant activities that wear the team down. Keep your impact players fresh so they can focus on putting points on the board. Every engagement starts with free process mapping and engineering, no cost, no commitment. We don't bill a dime until the real work begins, and with programs starting as low as $1,000 a month, you're not going to break the bank. Each Togo program includes dedicated staff, custom automations, and US-based process engineers who act as your quarterback, giving you complete control, total transparency, and instant efficiency. At Togo, turning your playbook into performance. You call the plays, we execute your way, and advise you along the journey. Visit harnesstogo.com. Scale smarter, work faster, and stay focused on winning. I'll tell you about our friends at Shopify. Shopify. What kind of dreams did you have when you were a kid? Professional baseball player, podcast host, professor, Doug Analytics, all kinds of stuff.
Does that mean you dreamt about Doug Analytics?
No, you would become Doug Analytics. How about now? Thinking about starting your own business? Well, Shopify is the e-commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the United States. Shopify even powers the PHLY merch store. Shopify has you covered with website creation, product descriptions, email, and social media marketing, and more. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into a cha-ching with Shopify on your side. Sign up with your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/allcity. That's shopify.com/allcity. Cha-ching! That's it. That's all I got. I'm not going to say what I want to say. Anyway. Let's move on.
That's rare for you.
It tells you it's serious.
Wow.
Okay, so you're depressed about the offense.
Yeah, I mean, I always watch the offense first and then the defense. And it was so bad this week that I actually started with the defense. Like, I could not handle watching the offense so soon after the actual live experience. And so I started with the defense first, and it kind of threw off my whole week because I'm not used to doing it that way. But
do you have any hope for the running game?
It's a good question.
I mean, you don't care about the running game.
No.
Your hope is that they abandon it entirely.
Since they run the ball so much, the run game needs to be good in order for this offense to function, because when the run game isn't good, it ends up being 3rd and 12, and then they run it on 3rd and 12 too. So, like, in order for the sticks to move here, the run game has to get better. I mean, these last few weeks, and the Eagles have been terrible all year at getting first downs on early downs. Like, they've been relying on 3rd down a lot, and then they're not good at 3rd down either. But it's gotten really bad these last 2 games. I mean, they've gotten a total of 4 first downs on their 48 first down snaps in the last 2 weeks, and that's like league average is like 25% or something. This is just terrible, and a lot of it's because they are running it and they're not running it well. Jordan Mailata was talking about, you know, they've got a 4-man line and 3 linebackers behind it, the Lions, and they were blitzing all of them. And he said we had to figure out some answers, and we were able to do some things to run up the time of possession near the end of the game. First of all, just the fact that he's thinking of it that way is very problematic, right? Like, it's like,
it means they're talking about it in the building. Like,
absolutely. Yeah. Mailata's not coming up with that on his own. Like, that's something the coaches are saying. So that's one issue. Now, why do they have to come up with problems when the box is packed?
I hate that so much.
One of the biggest reasons for this is because the QB run game, I know we've talked about it, but it's just gone. Like, they just don't run it anymore. Like, they ran inside zone out of shotgun in this game maybe 7 or 8 times, and every single time the backside edge was blocked by tight ends. Jalen's not really reading anybody. He looks as if he is, but he's not really. He's not going to keep that ball no matter what happens there. That's a straight handoff. The only time they didn't block that backside edge was for RPOs, like on RPOs where they're trying to go to that side. So they're really not running regular inside zone read anymore. That means you have to actually block everybody. And if there are too many people to block on the inside, you need to do something else. So what did they do? They ran the toss play where Landon pulls one way and they tossed it the other way. First time they've run it since that Dallas game. We talked about how cool that play was. They ran it. They ran it the other way with Steen as well. That was kind of cool. There was a fake split zone run where Dallas Goedert looks like he's doing a split zone block, and then they're running the other way. The entire offensive line is blocking that way, but then the running back turns and follows him instead. So it was like a tight end lead play. They ran that a couple of times. That was kind of cool. They ran same.
You sound really moved.
I mean, like, look, and I'm looking for anything that was creative, because the run game didn't end up being terrible in this game, like success rate wise. It was just not explosive, but they ran the same side pin pull play on the very first play that Brett Toth was in the game. That is now 6 times they've run it, all 6 with Brett Toth. This is on the whole season, including the very first play he's in the game they ran, and it didn't work.
We can finally run it.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't work because Dallas Goedert missed his block. But like the idea here is that like they're not running that with Cam Jurgens. They're just not. Like they've chosen not to. They don't think he's. I mean, he's able to pull around one guy on those QB draws. He's able to pull around one guy on those crawl calls on the zone reads. But he is not. Like they must not see him as being capable of getting all the way out to the edge.
An injury thing.
It has to be. They ran it all the time.
That's the whole reason they drafted him.
They ran it all the time last year. Yeah. He was like the next Kelsey. Like he was going to do all those things. So, yeah, I mean, hope for the run game. Like I just wish they would use the QB run stuff more. Like I really think that threat would take away guys in a way that would be really useful. I mean, like when you do that, a lot of teams will dedicate not only the defensive end, but also I have to stop saying I have to stop saying doo-doo because when I do, 100% of the time, Bo catches it. Yeah, I think he's not even listening to me. And then I realize he is. Poor Doug Analytics, man. I'm gonna have to like text him and apologize on Bo's behalf. If you had to change your name to match what you do the most, what would you change it to?
Bo Cry.
Bo Cry. That's good. Oh man.
I already wiped him away. All right, you're speaking about the offense being doo-doo.
Yeah. No, I mean, no, that's all. I don't know. Just one thing that was also frustrating on the film, and Jalen actually referenced this: the fumble where Saquon knocks the ball out of Jalen's hands. That is play action, and it's a play action flood concept, and the Lions are like completely biting on the play action.
Yeah.
Like Dallas Goedert is wide open on the corner route. AJ Brown is wide open on his crossing route. Like there are two guys wide open, and it would have been the easiest touchdown of the year. Like it would have been, you could have just lofted it up there. And Jalen actually said in his presser, he said we had a ball handling issue and we weren't able to get an explosive because of that. I mean, it's crazy on the film. Like it's not because of the fumble. It's because they actually thought it was play action. They finally had set it up because it was out of a formation that they had run out of like 7 times already in the game. They finally had set it up. It was going to be like a great example of play action.
Patullo must
and
have been so
Saquon
mad.
like elbows
Nice job,
the ball
Jalen.
out of Jalen's hand. Like it's like it's just. I mean, I don't know if it's like it's more on Jalen for where he put the ball, if it's more on Saquon, whatever. But you can tell it's play action, not an RPO, because the offensive line doesn't really block. It's like it's just like so yeah. But that's how it goes when things go badly. You want to see more Cam Latu in the offense? I hear that's a big talking point this week as well.
You know how I feel about this.
I need to ask EJ when he gets here.
I'm still mad about undrafted free agency.
Nah, I'll save that for when EJ gets here. I want to ask him about that.
Okay. Anything else on offense, or should we go to break?
Not really. I think the rule is terrible on the Tyler Steen false start, by the way.
So they called
It's
it
a
correctly.
horrendous rule. Yeah, I mean, it's the right call.
It's a terrible rule.
The rule just sucks.
It doesn't make any sense.
If your hand is in the neutral zone already,
But that means that
Then
at
the
some
only
point
way-
it has moved across.
yeah, but he could have like just put it there before they even like lined up, like is the idea. So if his hand is in the neutral zone as opposed to entering the neutral zone actively with the snap imminent or whatever, the only way to have that be a penalty on the defense is to actually snap the ball. The problem is,
Right, that presumes that they're going to see it.
yeah, the problem is the defense is always in the neutral zone on the sneaks, and like snapping the ball like before you're ready is like too risky.
It doesn't
like,
make any sense. The rule should absolutely be if the person is across the line of scrimmage and you touch them, it's a penalty.
I agree. You should just like incentivize the defense to not be in the neutral zone to begin with.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree, and I think like that was a maddening situation in the game, but it wasn't technically the wrong call. It's just a bad rule.
I'm in Tyler Steen's camp here. He did the right thing, even if the rule is wrong. He was right.
He's ahead of it. Maybe they'll change the rule. I doubt it, but yeah. Mailata, by the way, said that he thought they got enough push on those, and he doesn't know what happened on those sneaks, which is a little bit. I'm not sure who he was trying to blame. It seemed like Jalen was a little bit more protective of the ball than he normally is, a little bit less reaching it out after what happened against the Giants.
I heard the Lions did something a little bit differently, but do you know what?
They submarined.
Okay.
They lined up 4 defensive tackles. They had a lot of different packages in this game. They lined up with 3 defensive tackles and 1 defensive end as their normal base package in this game, which was different than what they normally do. Aiden Hutchinson was often the only edge rusher out there. And then for various situations, they would change that to sometimes be all 4 of the D linemen would be defensive tackles, which is what they did on the sneaks. And Roy Lopez in particular was like getting under Landon Dickerson in a way where the Eagles like to go over that left guard, and they were getting under, and then the linebackers were coming over, and so they kind of had. It wasn't that different than it wasn't as weird as like lining up a guy on the ground, like things like that. But it just seemed like the Eagles couldn't quite get as low as they normally do. And then I just thought Jalen was like kind of hugging the ball going forward instead of reaching it out, even on 4th down, which on 4th down you really should just reach it out. I mean, like it's a turnover if you don't get it too. So Yeah, whatever. I mean, but it was very frustrating to not even be able to do the one thing this offense does well normally is get 1 yard.
One thing that they count on.
It happened 3 different times where it got to 1 yard, and one of them was a failed one where they went to the other team. One of them was a false start where it went back and had to punt. And then one of them, they didn't run it for some reason. They ran that belly run instead, where they handed it to Saquon.
Yeah,
and that play is going to have haunting effects for the rest of the season because Landon Dickerson can't block DJ Reader at all. He doesn't move. Saquon runs right into Landon for some reason, even though there was a lane there, whatever. And then Landon and DJ Reader kind of move back, and they're the ones who roll up on Lane Johnson, and that's the play where he gets injured. So, that's a lasting thing that we haven't even talked about today, but that's going to affect the offense going forward big time. They had Saquon staying in to chip against Aiden Hutchinson to help Fred Johnson, even when it was a 3-man rush. So that's an early indicator that it's going to change the way that they call plays that Fred Johnson's in there.
What do you think about the idea that, as proposed by Nick in the chat, that maybe failing in the tush push is a good thing and will lead to them being a little bit more
Stop
creative?
trying to play for it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like the being able to get 1 yard when you need it better, more
right,
than...
but instead of on 3rd and 8 running a 7-yard hitch.
Yeah, no, I understand.
You run a 9-yard hitch.
Yeah. I mean, that outside zone to the boundary on 2nd and 8 from the 9 or whatever that one was, that is such a good example of you're trying to get to the push. It's you're not trying to score. Because you can't score on that play. You just can't. You're just trying to get close enough that maybe you can run it again and then push it in. Yeah, I mean, if the push isn't there, I don't know. I mean, this is they're so conservative and they're so into not turning it over and making sure that they do whatever they need to do to just barely stay ahead on the scoreboard. The only thing that had any kind of sign of aggression was the 4th down calls, right? And so if they're going to stop going for those too, because they don't trust the push, then that is not going to make me happier. No, because I think it'll just make them more conservative. I don't think it'll make them more aggressive. All right.
Let's take a break. Come back, talk about something more positive, the good side of the ball. The Eagles defense, maybe the best unit in football, potentially. Let's talk about it. Think about the traditional trading card cycle. You buy a box, rip open the packets, pull the few valuable cards, and then send them off for grading. Weeks later, you finally get them back, and only then can you sell them to the shop or online, buy another box, start the process all over again. Arena Club has flipped that cycle on its head. What used to take weeks now happens in minutes, all on their digital platform. They have taken the long grind of physical card trading and turned it into instant digital gratification. With slab packs, you can rip a wide range of packs starting at $25 and up. Every pack has grails that are at least 20 times the price of the pack. Arena Club is the most trusted name in the game. They offer full transparency, showing every card in the pack with the likelihood of pulling each one so you know exactly what's available before you buy. From your digital showroom, you can trade, sell, auction, or retrieve your physical card from the Arena Club. Yes, the packs are digital, but the cards are real. Acquire the best value for your money with slab packs, transparent checklists, and Arena Club's Slab Safe program. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, grading, or ripping, Arena Club is the safest, most trusted in the game. Specialty drops are normally 24 hours only, so be sure to follow them so you're in the loop. Some special drops in the past have included Charizard-only slab pack, Pikachu-only slab pack, high-end slab pack with a $50,000 Grail, Kaboom, or Downtown card-only slab packs, and on it goes. Right now, you can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/PHLY and use code PHLY. And I'll tell you about our friends at Crooked Tea, because just like you might want to know what's in the pack, you want to know what's in the tea that you're drinking, and most places, they're not going to tell you. Crooked Tea will, because Crooked Tea brews real USDA organic tea for real flavor with zero sugar. No fake junk hiding behind the label. What you see is what you drink. Next time you're at the store, flip the can. If you can't find the ingredients, just put it back, then grab a Crooked Tea, zero sugar, real tea, and fully transparent. You know it, Philly. Why drink the fake stuff? Crooked Tea, the only thing better is a strip sack in the Super Bowl. Visit crookedtea.com to find a store near you. Back on the PHLY Eagles podcast. I think EJ's on his way up. We're going to do a little slide on over, make some room.
So I got to unplug this.
You know what?
Or no, I'm using this one.
You're using that one. Okay. I'm gonna have to go dark for a second here, Professor. Let me ask you a question so you can talk.
Okay.
Is
Is this mic working? Okay.
What's a good filibuster question for you? How do you feel about raisins?
Oh my God! You know, the show that it was just me and Fran. I was telling him about the thing where it's like the reason I have trust issues is raisin cookies that look like chocolate chip cookies. That was like a meme, and we kind of disagreed about raisins then. And then yesterday he doubles down on the yeah, give me raisins. I think Fran and I don't agree on very many food topics. Yeah, everything from dry cereal to.
What do you got against raisins?
Is
it ageism?
I don't like dried fruit in general. I think the idea of drying fruit is like you're killing like the best thing about the fruit, which is like the juiciness and freshness. I mean, I think people used to dry fruit because they had to, and people, we just don't need to do it anymore. Like, just eat fresh fruit.
I mean,
I like grapes.
There is a service it provides.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I would certainly prefer fresh fruit.
Yeah, I think it's gone too far. Like dry fruit has become a thing that people like.
This woke culture has gone way too far. Enough with the dried fruit. Well, it used to be men could be men. You could say what was really on your mind, and
just so everyone knows,
dry whatever fruit you wanted.
Just so it's clear, that's Bo talking. Okay, I just don't like dried fruit.
Cancel culture. For fruit.
Absolute A+ snack, says Fran. I feel bad for you, Fran. I just don't understand like how that can be A+ for you. I don't know if you don't have access to actual good snacks or what it is, but
if you could.
Hey, AJ.
Hello. It's good to see you guys.
How's
Sorry
it going?
about the crashing Bo's one shot there.
If you could only eat one fruit for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Dried fruit?
No.
Oh.
I mean, if you want to choose a dried fruit, that's your prerogative.
It's my prerogative.
Do I have to eat like?
Is there going to be some kind of like Turkish bean that we're not available here?
It's going to be the Turkish version of a fruit, but can I guarantee it's going to be like a good one? Every time?
I think the conceit here is that.
It's
although
like
you know what, that's maybe not
because
fair.
There's a variance issue.
There
with
are fruits where the variance is too high.
But can I at least guarantee I'm getting it in season? Like.
I think you get it the way that you generally get it. So.
Oh, and the whole year I have to deal with whatever version of it is available that year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough because the peak.
Because then you're valuing more what's
yeah. See, one of the peak fruit experiences for me is like the peaches that we eat in August in Turkey. I mean, those peaches are just unbelievable, and I could just sit there and eat them like all day. But out of
Call
season,
me by your name.
Out of season, those peaches are like not good. You know. So is it worth like a month of good peaches to be sacrificing the rest of the year? I'm not so sure.
How about you get the? Well, no, you don't want that. You don't want the average because then you're not getting the.
No. It's for the peak experience.
You want the peak. What's your favorite? What's your go-to fruit, EJ?
I probably would have to go blueberries because I drink a blueberry smoothie every morning. So
okay,
but I almost never eat.
Yeah, I feel like you're allowed to get you're allowed to get the smoothie experience of other fruits, but you can't eat other fruits.
I mean, I just know you're going to take this in a way I don't want you to take it.
Why would I ever do that?
Because why would you do that? Probably a banana. I just knew Bo's mind would just go in overdrive for that one, but
I didn't say anything. I have no problem with the banana. Julia's the one who laughed. Julia, you're 30 years old.
I hate bananas
you're 29 years old, Julia. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Julia,
Thank you so much.
her and her age. You're not supposed to do that.
I'm so young.
She is young at heart.
Why are you people
Young
also
in life too?
Why are you
Young
also
in skin.
Why are you all so young? Is what I was going to say.
I act old.
All right, Banana Man.
Biggest mistake you made, EJ. EJ, how do you feel about the? Did you happen to?
Whoa! Big super chat from King AB.
Oh,
Monster. I can't accept that Jalen wants an offense that gives him limited options. If that's the case, either Jalen is scared of being exposed by a more varied offense, or he is too dumb to see the issues with the offense everyone else sees. I don't buy it.
It's very generous, King AB. Thank you very much.
I mean, calling a guy dumb, it's not that, but yes.
It's not generous to call him dumb.
I understand.
But I get the premise.
Listen, this is the thing that is impossible to understand from the outside is exactly that. Jalen is someone who thinks highly of himself. He's a smart guy. I'm sure he wants to be aggressive. It's hard to believe this is the offense he wants to play. We know he cares about winning, but they all own it. It's Nick's. Nick is responsible. Patullo's responsible. Jalen's responsible. And by the way, the rest of the guys on the offense are responsible too.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit tired of the AJ. Laugh off the idea that I might not be as good, but he's clearly not trying to the same level. And maybe the offense would be better if he had a little bit more of a pep in his step.
I agree. I thought AJ's press conference was like a consistent.
Tell us about yesterday because it was a little bit weird.
Yeah, it was like a consistent simmer. Like there wasn't the one. I mean, I guess there was the one soundbite that really caught people's attention. When he said he was asked, there's a notion out there that you're not the same player, and he said, I guess Saquon's not the same player either. But I thought almost every answer he had, you can tell that he's frustrated. To the point where he can't mask it. And I think that's what people like about AJ when things are going well is that he's real, he's authentic. But right now, he is clearly a very frustrated player. He's not trying to hide it. And it really seeps into everything that he talks about where, he gets asked do you keep track of other receivers across the NFL? And he says, no. And I asked him, why don't you? And he says, because it makes me upset. It makes me upset to see other guys doing well when he's not doing well. He said that, he was asked about the reports that there's internal frustration about Jalen Hurts. And, he said, ask me about Dallas. So, I mean, again, it's more of the same, which is why it is tiring. It is definitely more of the same with AJ and how frustrated he is. But I do think, especially the question about Jalen, if he just comes out and says, just comes out and says something supportive of Jalen, and he's done that at points this year, the story calms down so much more. The choice there is definitely
he has power here.
There. Oh, absolutely, yeah. Right. And he not only does he have power, he is aware of the power that he has. Now, again, I want to make sure I say that he is he's authentic up there, and I can appreciate that. But for an Eagles fan, for the betterment of the team, that authenticity and what it reveals about the state of the team is not an encouragement.
Well, yeah, I mean, if he is the one moving the news cycle on these things, Nick is allowed to be annoyed that this is a topic. Jalen's allowed to be annoyed that he keeps getting asked about this. AJ is not really allowed. I mean, he's allowed to do it, but it's a little bit silly for AJ to be annoyed at the questions about the stuff that he is doing.
And the thing I really want to really point out here is the last couple of weeks, AJ was the most scrutinized player in the locker room. Maybe it was the AJ and Jalen dynamic, but AJ was a big part of it. This week it was really Jalen was the most scrutinized player in the locker room. So I do think it was significant that AJ didn't downplay or didn't refute the notion that there's frustration in the locker room for that reason.
EJ, I know you were standing right next to him during the scrum yesterday, and also you've talked to him on the side as well. So I'm curious what your perspective is on what I said last week and what I kind of am seeing both in the videos of these scrums and also his play on the field, his body language. I had the binoculars on him a lot on Sunday night. He's sad. I don't know if he's frustrated as much as he's sad. Yeah. He just seems to be sad. And I'm not gonna, I'm not a psychologist. I can't use any scientific terms or anything, but he just seems to be down. And sometimes when you're down, that explains why you give up on that go ball a little earlier than you normally would. It explains why you can't, beat Rock Yassin, in a one-on-one situation. And
you know what'll get you up though, from being down? Overtime.
I can't see the clock where I am. That was the issue. Yeah, and I'm just curious what your perspective on this. Like, I guess like sad versus frustrated, because I think there's a difference.
The word I would use to describe AJ for a lot of this season is like dejected, like resigned to the way that things are. Now, I don't want to completely absolve him in that, because I think there are instances where he makes choices that are not always for the best for the team. Whether it is the go ball against the Lions, or the play against the Broncos. Like, there are instances on the field where it's like I don't want to make excuses for him. Like, I think that
I also think some of it is a little bit performative. Like the sadness is true, but when he's not in a scrum, he's laughing with the guys, right? It's not like he's just walking around the Novacare complex all day long like Eeyore. Like, he's still a very popular player in the locker room.
Yeah, but do you disagree that like there's a
I've gone through
feeling?
periods of sadness in my life where like one of the ways I deal with it is by joking around a lot.
Of course.
I mean, I don't think that's like that means he's not sad. Like,
well, I'm
I
not
don't know.
saying
I'm not
he's
there.
not
I don't
sad.
see him like you guys
Yeah,
do. But like
I think my
just him
characterization's
joking
a fair
around
one.
doesn't
I think
mean
that it's like there's a defeated nature about the way that he is on the field and the way that he talks about his situation. It's almost, and a month I guess it's been over a month now ago, he said like, I'm starting not to care. I think we've seen that since then, that he is starting not to care about certain aspects of this. And it's not, it's not ideal. Like the way that, like to me, like I've been defensive of AJ a lot. Like I've come on this podcast and defended AJ a lot. Like the go ball against the Lions, like the way that looks on tape, I really am like, there's really no defense for it. I'm curious like how that played when they watched it back in the film room, because I think a lot of what AJ has talked about, a lot of the reasons for his frustration, that was an opportunity for him to change that. And again, for like, I think your read on it is correct, Deniz, that there is like a defeated nature to it.
No
but
doubt.
Like that can't like, you have to work your way out of that.
Yeah,
and that
for
is
sure.
the instance where
He is
can.
exacerbating the problem.
For
Yes.
sure. That play was horrendous. Horrendous. He starts jogging as the ball is being thrown, and then the ball lands in bounds exactly where he would normally be, like 4 yards beyond him. Like, I mean, it was terrible. Like, you can't have that. But again, like, I'm just wondering if it's not like, you don't think he's frustrated, so he's intentionally like not going for the ball, so it looks like a bad throw, right?
I mean, that I'd have to be in his head for that. So it's hard for me. It's hard to know why.
But if he goes
why
up and
it's
makes
lacking,
that play, play it forward. Like if he makes those plays, then all of a sudden the defense is maybe playing him a little bit differently, or maybe it emboldens the offense to not be quite so conservative if they can trust that he's going to do those kinds of things. If they have to call plays knowing that they're not going to get the best version of him, that's probably going to make them be more conservative.
Yeah, I think it's one of the many like very entangled things that's wrong with the Eagles offense right now. One of the complicated things that they need to be able to figure out is AJ Brown's frustration, like the lack of consistency and like his willingness to be the guy that he says he wants to be. I think that is a big problem.
All right.
And how it affects the locker room. I think that is another major thing here is like, how do these guys navigate that?
All right, let's talk about the good part of the team.
It's funny because I'm doing my locker room notes for tomorrow. Make sure to check those out on allphly.com. And I feel like there's been a real juxtaposition in the Eagles locker room this week of like happy defensive players and very frustrated, very upset offensive players. So like in the notes, I'm going to do like Jalen Hurts responds to reports that people are there's internal frustration. Jordan Davis said he brings cookies to the Saturday walkthrough. And like, AJ Brown is sort of like batting away questions about all the drama that's going on in the Eagles locker room. But, Jalen Carter, Vic Fangio says he's playing pretty well. So, I guess like there is a weird balance that you have to strike talking about this team right now.
Yeah, you can see it on the sideline too. Like at the game, like the defense is all talking to each other, like all high-fiving each other, doing group celebrations. And then the offense is just like, like all sitting kind of far away from each other, like looking into space. Like,
Yeah, and like these guys, they feel
And they talk about it on defense. Like, BG talked about it on the show this week. Reed Blankenship talked about it on the show this week. Like, they really do. They feel that. Like, if Nakobe makes a play, everybody's super happy for Nakobe to make a play. They're all rallying together. It's true.
Jordan Mailata said that like the film session this week was tough for that reason. Like, the defensive guys are like super happy. Like, he said like they're almost like off to the side, like laughing while the offense has to go through all these corrections. Yeah, not to say that like they're like actually laughing, but it's just like, there's a different energy on opposite sides of the building right now.
that's what happens when
Hopefully
you're
it gives
winning
them a kick in the ass.
10-7 and 16-9.
Yeah.
The last time the Eagles scored 26 points in 2 consecutive games and won them both.
Didn't score 26 points.
It scored 26 points or fewer and
okay.
won both games.
Yeah, I mean, I saw your stat.
Oh, you already saw it.
I
Okay.
follow you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know. I'm sure you're a busy guy. You gotta get. 1997 was the last time. The Bobby Hoying year. So. Yeah.
Sick.
Good to have a good defense.
All right, what do you got on the defense?
Masterpiece by Vic. Just a masterpiece. I mean, by EPA per drive, this was the second best game of the Fangio era, but the best one was against Cooper Rush last year. So,
Right.
I mean, against like a good offense like this, it was the worst game by far for the Lions offense in the last 3 years. I mean, by any metric you want, and by far, like outlier. It was just so good. So good from the beginning. I was curious, going into the game, we were curious, is Quinyon going to follow a guy? Is he going to play to the boundary? I think that this is going to be the formula. He's playing to the boundary. Now, if it's a team that has like a superstar and they line up on the outside all the time, maybe he'll follow them. We'll see what happens against Dallas on Sunday, because in the first game, if you remember, he started following Pickens in the first half.
Right.
And then CeeDee Lamb was just destroying Adoree Jackson. Like, I mean, that game, like CeeDee Lamb had like 4 or 5 explosive plays all against Adoree Jackson. And then in the second half, they switched. Even though CeeDee Lamb lines up in the slot a lot, Quinyon always followed him. And then, Adoree Jackson was going with George Pickens. Since then, Vic's done it a bunch of different ways. He's played him to the field. He's played him to the boundary. These last 2 weeks, he's played Quinyon to the boundary. And that lets him run some cover 6, some cover 8 to help Adoree Jackson. But as Fran pointed out on your show on Monday, it was like a very good mix of cover 6 and cover 8, meaning the offense doesn't know if it's going to be Quinyon on the quarter side or Adoree Jackson on the quarter side, so you can't call plays to attack a predictable coverage. I thought the way that Vic kind of changed that up was brilliant. The exchanges, the blitzes as needed throughout the game. There were so many plays where I'm taking notes. First I do the coverage, then I do the rush. And I'm like, the coverage was perfect. Like, it was beautiful. Like, I mean, everyone was covered. It doesn't matter how much time the quarterback would have had to throw. And then you watch the rush, and it was like a quick sack. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, it didn't even need to be. Like, it's like the defense is so good that the coverage and the rush are both winning at the same time. There are examples where the coverage wasn't good. Brock Wright is wide open
fourth down, yeah.
on the fourth down, but also on the interception.
Okay.
I think Makuba was supposed to rotate down to cover him. Reed's kind of pointing to him, and instead he runs to the post. So it was just a bust. And Brock Wright turns around at the sticks. He's wide open. It would have been a first down, and Jordan Davis tips the ball, and it turns into an interception. So that's an example where you got a tipped ball. By the way, Jordan Davis, NFC Defensive Player of the Year. He was like the sixth
of the week.
He was the 6th best player on the Eagles defense this game.
Yeah, no, it's
what are
absolutely
they talking?
insane.
Did they watch the game? Like, did they
Absolutely insane.
Did they see Nakobe Dean's? Like, they must have stopped watching at like halftime or something. Did they see
Because
Nakobe Dean's
it's not
3
even
plays
like-
in a row at the end of the game? Like,
3
just
bat downs
crazy.
is cool,
Somewhat,
but it's like
somewhat
what?
lucky.
It's
like,
one more than completely unremarkable,
yeah, I mean,
right? Like if you
I
had
think
if you
two
had
is
2
still
bat
noteworthy.
downs, you'd
No,
be
the
like,
bat
oh,
down-
okay, that's good.
Not
the bat
player of
downs
the
are
week,
fine.
but
It's just
yeah.
that you had teammates in
Well,
this
I know.
game.
But the bat downs are fine.
Quinyon Mitchell and Nakobe Dean were the best 2 defensive players on the field. And so, like, to ignore both of them and like give it to Jordan Davis. I mean, whatever. The defense was awesome.
It's a team award.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a team award. Sure,
This
whatever.
is like,
but I mean, Quinyon Mitchell. Like, I mean, he didn't allow a single reception, and they kept throwing at him. And the fact that they're throwing at him in those situations shows how well coordinated the defense is. It's not like Jared Goff doesn't know where Adoree Jackson is, right? Like, it means that it's been. The coverage has been called in a way to protect Adoree Jackson, and Adoree Jackson was also a little bit better as well.
So if you're definitively going 6th for Jordan Davis in that game, you're going Quinyon, Nakobe Dean, you're going Jalen Carter, you're going Zach Bond,
Zach Bond, yeah.
and then Jalen Phillips, Moro Ojimo.
Yeah, maybe even lower than 6th. Because I would also I'm always going to put Cooper DeJean like above Jordan Davis
Yeah.
too. Like, he's out there every snap, and he's like a huge part of the reason the coverage is good
Yeah.
all the time. He had some effective blitzes in this game as well. Yeah, Jordan Davis might have been like 8th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he did have three batted passes at the line. Those are impact plays. I heard all week about how dejecting that is for an offense. It's like demoralizing to see to see like to have your passing
No,
offense impacted by that.
and look, I don't think counting tackles is a good way to evaluate defensive tackles anyway, because a lot of times like the linebacker gets the tackle because the defensive tackle made a good play, and Jordan Davis was good against the run in this game, but like so was Jalen Carter, and so was I don't know. It's just like I don't care about those awards anyway. I just thought it was very funny. Like,
clearly
in this case,
I got 2 soccer analogies for the show today. The first of which is that it's kind of like in the Champions League, it feels like the man of the match is never who it's supposed to be. Like it's always like some random player, and like the fans are outraged by it. So maybe the NFL's going that way.
isn't it
what's the other
voted
one?
in Champions League? Isn't it voted on by fans? I think like that's
a
one of the
good question.
reasons.
I don't know who.
I think that's one of the reasons it's always
yeah,
so
and it's
bad.
like it's always in like real time. Like they give it to you literally the second the game is over. So
What's
it's
your
not
other
gonna
soccer
be.
analogy?
Quinyon Mitchell. I have a player comparison for you here. You want to guess first? It seems like it looks like you want to guess. His personality, less so than like
his
how he
personality.
plays.
I don't know.
Cole Palmer. Like, just kind of like Cole Palmer and Quinyon Mitchell both. Like, you talk to them. Because I went up to Quinyon yesterday and I asked him if, like, do you have, like, other elite cornerbacks in the NFL that, like, have reached out to you? Or, like, do you, like, talk to any of these guys now that, like, you're becoming recognized as, like, one of the best corners in the league? And he's like, I'm not really on social media. Like, they don't have my number, so no. Like, I don't hear from anybody. And it's just, like, you kind of, when you talk to him, it's almost like you wonder, like, do you, like, realize, like, how, like, remarkable what you're doing is? And that's kind of like the Cole Palmer thing. It's like nonchalance, and like that is like what a part of what makes you great is that like it's not too big for you. It's kind of just like this is just what I do. So
in some ways, it reminds me of DeVonta Smith, but like there's a big difference, right? DeVonta Smith like won the Heisman, like he came
Right.
into the NFL
Right. He
already
played at Alabama.
already as a star who like won championships and like. And Quinyon Mitchell is coming from this like small school, like he's never been in like the spotlight before, and he's acting as if he was like born here.
yeah,
you know?
because like DeVonta will still get like fired up when he makes a big play, and like Quinyon, I guess he talks trash out there, but like it's almost just like yeah, like I just locked down the best receiver on the other team, like just kind of how it goes for me. You know, it's like there's a nonchalance that is different than most guys.
He's been a little bit more demonstrative with his celebrations, which is fun.
Yeah.
Like he did the arms folded,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like stuff
that's
like
true,
that.
yeah.
And just like he was just like yelling at St. Brown like after that one. Yeah, it was awesome. I just love like every time they throw at him, I just write like, why are they throwing at him? Like why are they throwing at Quinyon? Like why would you waste the down?
Super chat from Dr. Prince Blue, who says, is Lane Johnson's Patriots comments karma now? Good point here. And you remember if this is from 2017 when the Eagles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
They're not having fun.
Lane made a big thing about how even when they're winning, they're not having fun. It does feel like that has come home to roost a little bit. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that is the cost of success.
I mean, it's a great point. I think like it. I mean, yeah, it is like this is what is part of what makes this team so great is that they win games, and like we'll play a video of BG coming up here. And I felt it like hit my ear that like he's like these have been a tough couple last weeks, and it's like you beat 2 of the best teams in the conference.
Yeah,
It's crazy. The Eagles are defending Super Bowl champions, 8-2, and current Super Bowl favorites. And you would think, like, I mean, just the way it's discussed, like, I mean, yeah, it really is.
I know,
crazy.
but I will. What I do object to is the perception from some people in the building that like this is the media's fault.
Oh,
yeah, no, that's
you guys you're never asking good questions. It's like it's never positive. You're Super Bowl champions 8-2. Yeah, because these are the things that are being talked about, and these are the things that are coming out of the building. Like, give me a break.
I mean, I was talking to Jeremiah Trotter Jr. about Snickerdoodle cookies yesterday. So, I mean, it doesn't get less hard hitting than that.
Jordan Davis said
Did he own up
he
to
like
this?
stole all of them, right?
Yeah, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. did own up to this. He said he likes a soft cookie, and that the Snickerdoodles are like the softest of the cookies that Jordan Davis offers. But they are like a soft.
Did you get to the bottom of if Jordan Davis actually makes them?
Him and his girlfriend apparently make them, which is probably why he's being kind of cagey about it. He doesn't want to put her on blast. But yeah, he says
famously,
they're for the whole defense, for the record. And Jeremiah Trotter Jr. said he used to grab 4. He's down to 2 now because he's trying to, not.
Okay, well,
not
this
engorge.
makes me think of the great Reggie Wells from back in the day, who used to have a stack of like 8 cookies from the from the cafeteria at the NovaCare complex by his locker. Always respected that from Reggie Wells.
Yeah.
But the Jordan Davis, I'm curious here because I think it was maybe 2 training camps ago or something like that, where he was shouting out a specific place, but he mentioned multiple girlfriends. He said, "I take some of my girlfriends there."
Did he really
And
say
so
that?
I wanted to. This means that maybe he's settling down to one
Or
girlfriend.
maybe
this is just the cookie
that bakes the
girlfriend.
cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember him saying I take my girlfriends there.
it certainly caught my ear. What's that?
Yeah.
Could have been.
Like his. My dad does not cook very much. It's one of his things. And he goes to the grocery store, and he's become known by one cashier as cookie guy because all he gets is the Wegmans cookies. He literally just goes in for those. And I'm trying to get him, you can get those things that, no free advertisement. You get those things at the grocery store, you just put them in the oven.
Right, you chop them and
Yeah, he literally just goes in there and gets cookies.
Respect.
I mean, I guess.
It's fine.
The man, you should see the man's refrigerator. He doesn't have any food in there. It's all it's cookies on the counter, but it's just it's literally nothing. It's old butter and Diet Coke.
Old butter.
EJ, you live
That'd be a
in.
good nickname for somebody.
Old
butter.
It's good.
Don't like that one.
You live in Westchester, right?
I do. Yeah.
My dad lived out there for a long time, and I would visit him on weekends. And on the road from Westchester to Exton, there used to be an Entenmann's wholesale shop. It was just Entenmann's and just wholesale.
You say that so
So
properly.
you had to buy 6 boxes of cookies. They were all taped together. You couldn't buy just the one. So we would go buy the Entenmann's little soft chocolate chip cookies.
Those are my dad's favorite
Oh my God.
cookies. He would wake up in the middle of the
and-
night and eat a whole box.
And because we had
solid,
6,
yeah, really
6
good.
were just sitting in the kitchen. We would open one and just finish it.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was-
Once you
was
open it, it's
for breakfast.
They're so
you know,
tiny,
it's
too. You just-
yeah.
yeah. It's permanently closed, unfortunately.
No, yeah, no, I know. Otherwise, I'd be driving out there.
We got some good spots. You come if you're ever in Westchester, I can give you some good recommendations.
Sounds good.
There's another
It would be
suggestion
nostalgic
in
for
the-
me.
in
I
the-
went to Exton Elementary for 1 year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, third grade. Yeah.
There was another suggestion in the chat, EJ. They're curious if you have talked to Tanner McKee about Moro Ojomo's Portuguese.
Oh, of course.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
He said it's pretty good. He said he's impressed that he's picked it up so quickly. And yeah, he says he asks Moro will ask him how do you say specific things, including lifting weights, which is very on brand for Moro Ojomo.
I'm looking forward to
closer.
Looking forward to when Moro Ojomo inevitably takes my class in 10 years.
Yeah, he said that Penn needs to set up a special program for him because
Okay.
I'll see what I can do, Moro. I'll ask them.
I mean, he's a
what
busy
does
guy.
he mean?
I think it's just he needs it to fit around his schedule.
Oh no, but I mean after the way Brandon Brooks did, after he retires.
Yeah, I think he would be open to doing it now, but it has to fit around his schedule.
Yeah.
So. Do you know what a JD MBA is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Jordan Davis.
But you can do the JD MBA as a full-time MBA student. So
yeah.
that again is a good one for after your
He said it very matter of fact to me, and I
He
was
just wants to
I don't
do,
know
like,
what
yeah.
a JD MBA is. For those who don't know, it's a law degree and a business degree at the same time.
Right. So it's 1 year longer than just the normal MBA, and you take
Okay.
both law and MBA classes.
if
at the
Moro
same time.
wants them to create something for him at Penn, he could just talk to one of the 2 very famous Penn alumni who he could get in touch with.
You talking about Connor Barwin and Brandon Brooks?
I'm talking about the president and Joshua Harris.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
How do you
they'll be
pronounce
very interested in the fact that Moro was in college at 16 years old.
How do you pronounce the thing that Deniz said? The shop that got permanently closed?
Entenmann's.
I say Entenmann's. Is that my Philadelphia accent?
Yeah,
that
you
I
also say interesting.
I do.
Wow, calling
This has
him
been
out.
No,
bothering
I'm
you.
just saying. I'm saying it's
been bothering
consistent.
you.
It's consistent with your accent. No, it doesn't
Interesting.
bother me. It's just
You say interesting?
I say,
interesting?
I'm not sure. I say interesting.
I say interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
I've
Interesting.
lost some of my Philly accent. I say water now.
Water.
No, you,
I
no,
say
you-
water.
No,
now.
you don't.
I guess
Do
I
not say that.
water, I guess. I say water. I don't say water anymore.
Look at my big old jug of water.
water.
Do you think this is because you're in the public eye and you feel like you've had to change it?
I think I lost it in college, which I went to Temple. Like I shouldn't have, but I definitely did.
Water.
Water.
Yeah, that was. I've lost my
My
Philly
whole
accent.
family
I
says
now
water,
say
though,
water.
and I don't. I lost it. I wish I didn't lose it because but I do say water ice. I can't shake that one.
Okay.
It's a very specific thing.
I've been accused of not having any sort of accent, like any distinguished accent of any sort, and that makes sense. It's my second language, and I've never spoken English at home. And they say that when you don't speak like a language at home and it's like your second language, you don't develop those like local. Yeah. So I don't know.
That's
I don't know if
interesting.
that's the reason, but interesting.
Fran says Temple has great broadcast performance classes that knock the accent right out.
I didn't take those. At least I don't think I did.
Water. All right, what else you got in your notes? We gotta hear from.
No, it's just a brilliant game from the defense. I mean, and I think going forward, there's a lot of reason to think that this defense is going to continue to climb. Best defense in the NFL since the bye again. Like we're saying since the bye thing again. The bye just came at a different time. Jalen Phillips was awesome again. The stunts, the exchanges, like they just look so well coordinated on those, even though they're playing together for the first time with Jalen Phillips. And Jalen Phillips had 3 straight plays where he dropped into coverage. He looks great dropping into coverage. He knows exactly where to drop. He's taking
Even
away
the first play of the
lanes.
game when he has to chase Jahmyr Gibbs, like he almost got there.
Oh yeah,
and he knew
for
exactly
sure.
what he was doing. He
For
read
sure.
it quickly, yeah.
And Fran made a good point about if you never drop, right, the offensive lineman isn't going to ever think you're going to drop. But on that sack that he got, where Penei Sewell turns inside, I'll add something to that Fran that I texted Fran later. Like in the locker room after the game, Jalen Phillips said, "I thought it was a toss crack play." And he thought Amon-Ra St. Brown was going to try to crack him. And so he was trying to get outside of the crack. He wasn't actually pretending. Well, yeah, that was really bad by me. Sorry about that.
No.
But I just have to go with it. He's trying to get outside of the crack. So he ended up looking like he was dropping into coverage because he was trying to get outside of St. Brown. Sewell thought that he was dropping, and then he got the easy sack. It's impossible to talk about football.
Yeah, it's so hard. I don't
Like
even know
it's
what that would mean.
just impossible. He's trying to get outside of the crack. Just destroyed.
Well,
Destroyed Julia. Julia is dead.
It's been a long week.
also, like, crack as a verb, I think, has changed a little bit in the internet zeitgeist. Like saying I'm trying to crack somebody. I mean,
Let's not.
like
It
smash?
is overtime. but
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I'd say crack and smash. They're in
I
the
don't
same
think I've ever
neighborhood.
heard. I don't know if I've ever heard crack like that.
Did you guys
I
see?
try to keep up. I don't keep up,
Yeah.
but I try.
Did you
to
guys
keep
see
up.
the graphic that Amazon used last night for Josh Allen? They had sack EPA, and then they had scramble EPA, and then they literally wrote under it "scrack EPA." Like it was the sum of the two, and people were just like making fun of it. Like what the hell is scrack? Like they just like made up a thing, made up a word.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I feel like the silliness came in with me. Like I feel like I really devolved the show.
We started out like Bo was like literally crying at the first 5
Okay.
minutes. So.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's been a loopy Friday.
Real Prince Blue says crack equals back-breaking sex.
Why would you read that? I saw it in chat and I was like, "There's no way he's gonna read that."
Congratulations to Reed Blankenship.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
What?
next time you have him on, you can ask him about it.
I don't even. But it doesn't even. That doesn't even make sense with outside the crack.
I'm done talking about the crack.
All right. What else would you like to talk about?
I think that's it on the defense. I mean, it like the
Get me outta here.
defense. The defense was terrible against Dallas in the first half. I don't know if you guys remember. Dallas scored on their first 4 drives of the game. No one could play defense in that game until the lightning delay,
Right,
if you
right.
recall, and then nobody could play offense. It was both
Right.
sides of the ball were that way. But so much of it, I just went back and watched some of the big plays. it's just like CD Lamb getting all these explosives against Adoree Jackson. Like, and I just feel like even though they're both going to be on the field
They'll
again,
have a plan for that.
there's going to be a better plan for it, and I think it'll be a lot better. And then the pass rush has just gotten so much better as well. That I mean, I think it's going to be good on good when they have the ball for sure. I mean, as Fran mentioned, they've beaten up on bad defenses, but they are a good offense and they are figuring things out. And Dak's like 6-1 at home against the Eagles and all these different things. Like the only time the Eagles beat Dak in Dallas was 2017. So if that matters. But also, wearing the Kelly Greens in this game.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
Here's the thing. Okay, first of all, I love seeing the Kelly Greens in person. They're only allowed to wear them so many times, so having one of them be on the road is a little bit upsetting. And the last time the real Kelly Green jerseys were worn, not the retro version, but before they changed, was the divisional playoff loss in Dallas in 1995. When Rodney Peete got injured, Randall Cunningham had to come in, and he didn't know any of the plays because he missed practice all week because his wife was having a baby. Different times when the backup quarterback just misses practice the whole week. Comes in, didn't know how to do anything, and it was just a disaster. 30-11, I think, was the final score. So I don't love that historical nature of bringing the Kelly Greens into that setting.
I told you about the Clowney thing. I'm worried about it. Dr. Prince Blue. Bo is Ron Burgundy. He reads the teleprompter. Professor, your grades on Swooper yesterday. So tell us your thoughts on the Cam Latu totem, the Keely Ringo of power, and how you expected the final bid to go.
I thought you were going to pull up notes that you had for all.
No,
of
I annotated the thing already. The Ringo of power. So here's the thing. I was saying this a little bit before the show. I don't like it when you can use one of these props to erase an item.
Right.
Like I thought the yak.
I agree with that.
I thought the yak item. Like I thought of the yak item. So maybe it's just because I feel attacked. But like I thought that would be fun. And then Fran just like he's like, here's the Ringo of power, and I destroy your item. So I don't love that. I think maybe you can steal the item instead of killing the
I would
item.
There
something
should,
like that. The item should stay in
be
play.
12 in play.
Yeah, I think.
Which is why at least the
Cam Latu totem.
No, the
Eli Ricks card.
The Eli Ricks card. It
even
added
remember
a
the
different item, so there were still 12
yeah.
things.
No, the Cam Latu underutilization totem. I really don't. I'm like.
It also had nothing
I'm
to
like,
do with
why
Cam
am I
Latu.
writing this on a spreadsheet right now? Where's my life gone? That this is what I'm doing. I don't know. Like it's like, I feel like. Yeah, I think I like the rule that you can only have one of these a week. Let me put it that way.
Did you at least like the spirit of the Cam Latu underutilization totem? You're a guy who likes to see the turkeys fly.
I think it should have
I
had
figured
more
it'd
to
be
do with Cam Latu somehow.
I mean, it's if you underutilize your turkeys like the Eagles underutilized Cam Latu, somebody's going to take advantage.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's fine that you guys are introducing these things, but yeah, I don't know.
And
I'm proud of my ability to continue these like weird auctions on the last item.
Yeah, how is that supposed to go? And is there ever any actual real life use case for that?
Yeah, so I thought this was so for those of you who didn't see Swooper, and I mean if you're watching this far into the show and you didn't see Swooper, like what are you doing? Yeah, the item was the Eagles win by more points than the second highest bid, where they all three bid, and the highest and the lowest both pay their bids, and the middle person determines the item but doesn't pay anything. I mean, it's like an upward pressure on bidding high for everybody, right? Because you don't want to be last, and then if you think you're going to be second, you want it to be as high as possible to make it less likely to hit. So I thought that would lead to high bids, and it did. The bids were high, 12, 8, and 7. So I thought that was fun. I just wanted to do something where like the pressure on the bids was the rules made it higher, like incentivizes you to bid high for everything. Now announcing that you're going to bid 7 publicly. And then actually bidding 7, questionable. Yeah, I don't know if I would have done that, but unless you thought of it as just cheap talk and that they weren't going to believe you. But it seemed like Fran believed you.
I didn't think they were going to believe me.
Yeah,
but
fun. EJ meanwhile has 3 items now that he's carrying into future weeks.
Also, we didn't catch
which is messing up my graphics.
That Fran needed to spend 7 turkeys.
Yeah,
to
Fran
use
trying to get away with using the Ringo of power for free, an unheard of usage. But yeah, he has to. So he's down to 5 turkeys, I believe.
Fran says only one person thinks Cam Latu is underutilized. Cam Latu probably also thinks.
That's not true.
Oh,
There's another
EJ,
person.
I have to ask you
who, Jeff
if you
McClain?
heard Jeff McClain's podcast today, or at least saw.
I've
if you at
heard
least
him
saw
asking
it.
about Cam Latu, so I knew
Okay.
that this was
Well, he
front of
he
mind.
had a podcast today that was entirely centered around his advocacy for more Cam Latu usage. Which, as your former colleague and perhaps former friend, how do you feel about him stepping on your Cam Latu toes?
I feel betrayed, Jeff. I hope that he sees this.
I mean, it was
I
Olivia before.
Actually, hold on,
now
let
it's
me,
Jeff.
Let me say this. Like, I didn't listen to his podcast yet. I will listen to it on my way home. So I
don't know. I think you
an
should.
hour and
I don't think you
15
should
minutes
listen
into
and
our
drive at
podcast.
the same time. It might be dangerous. And you're going to be angry.
I mean,
The podcast is basically him like, I have a solution for the fact that Grant Calcaterra can't block, and it's
So now there's
wait
three
till after
people.
the break till I tell you what it is.
Three people. I mean, at the very least, like, maybe you don't think more Cam Latu at fullback is the answer, but like, you see Grant Calcaterra every week. Why
Oh my
not try
God.
him? And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's, I'm not
Grant
saying,
Calcaterra said that he thinks he's been blocking really well the last 2 games.
I mean, I know he's worked hard at it. Like, I'm not trying to be like mean spirited about it. It's just, it's obvious that it's an area that they need to address. So,
Oh, for sure. Yeah. They ran counter 6 times with him as the wrapping blocker in this game. And on 3 of them, he literally didn't touch anybody. Like, he ran through guys, like between guys, I should say, who then went on to make the tackle. And for him to say that was a good game blocking is it just makes you wonder. Because you see Cam Latu on his only snap in the game, like, destroys Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Like, you just wonder, like, can't he just do that from a different formation? Like, shouldn't he be the one on the field? It's not like they throw to Grant Calcaterra. I
Right.
understand from a roster construction perspective why you would want your second tight end to be a receiving tight end, because they're harder to find and your first tight end might get injured, right? In which case you want the second tight end to be able to fill his shoes, and Dallas Goedert gets injured a lot, so you want Calcaterra on the roster for that reason. But given that Dallas Goedert isn't injured, right, and you don't throw to the second guy, like, how is it that Grant Calcaterra is getting all these snaps and being out there? There are so many run plays where it's Granson and Calcaterra are the only 2 tight ends on the field.
yeah.
They are the worst 2 blocking tight ends in the game, and then they run out of those. So, Willie Lampkin is the answer, says Fran in the chat.
I don't disagree. The 2 don't.
They only have like a
always
week
have
left
be
to
mutually
activate him,
exclusive.
right?
Yeah,
His
it
practice
has to
window.
be
Do you think they're going to do it?
It's got to be this week.
I think it's
Right?
got to
I
be
think
Saturday.
I think it's
or
got to
tomorrow,
be.
sorry.
I don't remember. Yeah,
I think it's tomorrow.
I feel like I have to. Check.
I mean,
It's
has it
3
really been
weeks,
that long?
Right? I think
It's
it is.
21
Yeah.
days. Yeah.
if Lane goes on IR,
Yeah.
they'll have a roster spot for him. So it would make sense.
It'd be a
Do you
bummer
think
if they-
Miles Hinton is more likely, or 11-9?
Well, because Hinton, they just started the window.
Yeah,
so
they've
they
got
can
time
wait.
with Hinton. They have to make the decision with Hinton.
11. It was the 6th, so they have till the 27th. It's not.
I mean, maybe it's because
It's not Saturday.
I guess we were thinking because it's been 3 games.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, but it's actually like
Yeah,
21
they've got-
days.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they do have
it's-
time with Lampkin.
So November 6th, November 27th, which is next Thursday. So they would basically have to activate him for
Thanksgiving.
the Bears game. They'd
Okay,
have to
yeah.
activate him for the Bears game, or they can't later. Yeah.
All right. Good stuff, everybody. We will be with you on Sunday for the kickoff show, the halftime show, and the post-game show. Vinny Curry joining us. Do you want to answer this Peck Nice Migrate from Fran,
Sure,
Professor?
sure.
Raisins, hitches, and Calcaterra blocks.
Oh man. I'm gonna migrate raisins, because they're just never good. So yeah, I'm migrating raisins.
I gotta stand up for raisins here. Gotta
Oh, come on.
I mean, of
you
course.
turncoat.
Of course, you do.
raisins. There's nothing wrong with raisins. Everybody, raisins are great.
Oh,
if
man.
someone is kind enough to make you something with raisins in
Wow.
it, you should just appreciate that. You
Julia
should
got
say-
to you, huh?
Well,
She didn't actually. She agreed with me.
I'll stay
But
on
that's 'cause
brand.
she's great.
I'll stay on brand. I'll stay on brand with the Turkish thing. There is a kind of raisin. It's like this very
great.
tiny raisin that we use in like savory foods, like that you mix with rice,
Yeah.
that you then put into like
Yeah.
a stuffed pepper, that kind of thing. Those raisins I actually like, but it's not meant to be like a sweet, part of a dessert or a snack by itself. So if I can't just have those raisins as my peck though, right? I have to. Okay, I'm migrating raisins. I guess I'll have to peck. God, I don't want to nest any of those.
I know you're gonna end up with an all hitch offense.
Yeah, well, that's what we have anyway. So let's just make it represent real life. I'll nest the hitches.
Wow.
because that's our life. The
Just
hitches
test
aren't going
raisins.
away.
Raisins are
No,
harmless.
they're never good. And I'll peck the Calcaterra blocks. The Eagles' offense has nested both the hitches and the Calcaterra blocks,
Yes, they have.
unfortunately.
Let me explain to the chat very quickly that I went home yesterday and my wife had not listened to the podcast yet, but she had come home from the grocery store with raisins because she wanted to make granola with raisins. So I told her the story, and because my wife is amazing, never thrown her under the bus ever on the show, she was like, "Oh, I totally agree with you. Like, if you're expecting chocolate chips in the granola and
Can you
it's
just
got
lean
raisins."
a little bit to your left? Go back to that shot, please, Julia.
You want the afro?
Yeah, there's your hat. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there it is. That's
Top
good.
hat.
I'm really trying to get it perfect.
All right.
I mean,
If you
That's
move
pretty good.
if you move
Yeah.
closer, it'll just be like you have a flat top.
not a million miles away. I'm not sure that would be a good hairstyle for me.
You're not
So
sure.
anyway, what did Julia say?
She agreed with me, and she didn't take issue with me telling the story. And she agreed that if you were
There's
expecting chocolate chips,
worse. You know what the worst is?
My wife.
I had a long think on the drive home yesterday about a lot of things on the show, like the Camlatu totem, my very destructive role in the Camlatu totem. Like everything good about it, somebody else did. Everything bad was me. And then I was like, I threw my wife under the bus.
Have you talked to Cam Latu yet about the Cam Latu totem?
No, I don't want to
want to weird him out?
Yeah.
That he would be weirded
Yeah,
out.
it's like
by.
I'm nervous to talk to Brandon Johnson.
Oh yeah, I can see that. But you have experience in this area.
I do.
Yeah. How's Elijah doing? You guys still talk?
I leave a chair for him every night at dinner.
Oh wait, I have to tell another story.
Okay.
So before I have this long think, part of the long think I had about myself on the way home. Yesterday was a weird day for me. I think I got my own head about a lot of stuff.
Okay.
And on my way out of the parking lot, Fran and I are in our cars, and we both move at the same exact time. And I was like, Fran, please go. I cannot, pushover millennial in me.
Yeah.
I'm begging him to go. And I think Fran was enjoying the fact.
Of course. Oh, I would have absolutely relished that. Yeah.
I'm like, no, please just put me out of my misery and go. And he's like, come on. And then I go and I'm like, sorry. I'm sorry I held you up. And I just, again, that drive home, I was just like, man, tough day.
Could be worse. Your team could be 8-2 and everybody hates each other. All right.
Only on the offense. Come on.
That'll do it for this episode of the PHLY Eagles podcast. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Lindsay, for helping from afar. Thank you, EJ. Thank you, Professor. Thanks, everybody in the chat. We'll talk to you on Sunday. Have a cracking weekend. And as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.